Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, where we talk about everything from video games to politics, just whatever the heck we feel like talking about. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. I'm Saf.
And I'm Tang. And welcome to Gaming Dads.
Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Gaming Dads.
Gaming Dads.
All right, so today we were going to go over my wonderful class idea for the next expansion, but before we do that, something incredible happened. What happened, my friend?
We finally killed Sire Nathria. Say it with me. AOTC.
AOTC.
Oh,
Oh
thank
yeah,
God.
we got
Thank God.
Got it, boys and girls. So today we're going to go over all of Castle Nathria, what we thought of these fights, the difficulty, the coolest ability, the fun aspect of it, the improvements that could be made, and our comments. It should be a good episode. Hopefully you guys are into it. And before we do that, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like our stuff, and if you would, please be so kind to leave us a comment. Let us know what you want to see in for future videos or what we could do better. We would greatly appreciate it. We even like haters. So if you got hate, go ahead and put it down in the comments.
We got a lot of haters. We might have more haters than fans out there, but we're working on that.
It's all right.
And
So-
today we present to you our review of Castle Nathria Heroic version. Why don't you take us off with Shrek Wing there, Seth?
Okay. Well, we say his name different. I call him Shriekwing because he shrieks. And difficulty-wise, I would say he's one. First boss in the raid, he was not that difficult. Pretty easy, just getting in there. Pretty cut and dry. You have a couple mechanics that you do. Coolest ability, and we rated it at 1 difficulty. Coolest ability, in our opinion, was the intermission phase. So the intermission, you're running, you're dodging the little spheres on the ground, or not the spheres, excuse me, the discs on the ground, and trying to stay out of his line of sight when he does his shriek, not his Shrek. Fun. I think we rated it. What should we rate it? Put us together as a group.
5 of 10 was the average.
5 of 10. Yeah, I mean it was.
I think we had a healer help us. Shout out to Dex.
Yep, Dex.
We kind of went over all the fights. We got his healer point of view. We got Saf's raid lead and Hunter, my melee co-raid lead. So, average came to 5 of 10 for fun. And some improvements to the fights were like you're behind the wall, his circle shouldn't just punt you. Like,
oh yeah, it's terrible, man. That was terrible. I hated that. Like you were just dead. There was no it didn't matter if you were a tank, healer. It didn't matter. Dead. You were toast. So even if you're line of sight, I don't think that should be like that. So there's really no comments to this other than we did this on Mythic, and this was in drastically more fun in my opinion, because there's a whole aspect of it. Like you can't see the discs, you have to get a little debuff that would put a dot on you.
And Saf and all his great raid leaderness decided that I get to be the lamp bearer.
That's right, Mr. Dash Demon Hunter over here. So yeah, man.
They're always fussing. Oh, we ran out of the buff. Oh, you're giving us too many stacks. You're killing us. Oh, we ran out of the buff. Make up your mind. Do you want the buff or not? Okay,
All right. Next on our list would be the Huntsman, and take it away, my friend.
All right. So the Huntsman I felt was a nice step up in difficulty from Shrek Wing, not Shriek Wing. Not too hard. We rated it 3 of 10. I felt it needed solid communication. The second set of dogs with shades, the shades were pretty tough. That was the toughest phase. Healer coordination was definitely needed. God forbid if you missed the cast and you didn't hard CC.
Yeah, the shades were.
It was a wipe. For likability, we went with 2 of 10. We felt some improvement to we went with 4 of 10. Sorry, we liked it. We thought it was in the middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack.
Improvements to the fight, maybe we were talking about, what were we saying, how you have the 3 set phases and then her burn phase.
Yep.
Maybe if like there's 6 dogs and you like, looted
6 dogs.
something
Good
from
lord.
yeah, well, like you looted something from 3 pens and then you fought those 3 dogs or something. Yeah, like
Yeah.
blood counts, like different order, but you could have did like different dogs. We talked
Yeah,
about
it makes
that. That
sense.
could be a good improvement.
All in all, it was
Uh,
okay. It was okay. Huntsman himself doesn't have many abilities. It's the dogs that give you the abilities. I think it was a fair fight. It was difficult because it was the first fight where you really needed some serious communication. So, but it
all
wasn't that bad.
right. And next up, we tackled hungering devourers. Saf, take us away.
Oh my god, Hungry and Devourer. All right, so difficulty, it was 3 of 10. So we did have a couple wipes on it, and it was to figure out the miasmas. I absolutely hate this fight. It's um, not much comms needed, just the mechanics. So not to die, you have to help your friends, and you have to stand in the circles. And we had this big argument over if you stack the circles or if you make a Venn diagram. I think you should make a diagram. Tang was like, "No, just stack up," and it was a mess. But either way, we ended up killing
I
it on top
recall
of it.
someone getting so mad that they hung up on me on our
Dude,
little video chat. Okay, like he was so mad and he kept dying, and I was like, just stack. Oh, but you're gonna no, you will live, you will live. And I was right. You just stack now, do you not?
he wasn't right. And when we get that fight on Mythic, I'm gonna remind him of just stack because we can't. You can't just stack on Mythic. So it is a.
We will deal with that bridge when we get there, my friend.
I just think it was boring. Like it was like same things. I don't know. It just was not a fun fight to me. I thought it was boring. So
Likability, two of
uh,
ten.
yeah, 2 of 10. It
We
was
rated
terrible.
it the second worst fight in the raid.
Yeah,
So
I hated it.
we definitely agree. It was boring. I felt it was almost a waste of a fight. So
Yeah. So
next up,
improvements. I don't
oh,
know.
I'm
There's not.
sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Go ahead,
No,
improvements.
I'll get improvements. I don't know. There's not any. Like, just I don't know. Maybe add like an enrage phase. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's about the only thing I could see.
yeah, that's about it. There's not much to it. I mean, I don't know.
Yep.
So
All right.
next
So next
up,
up,
we got Artificer. Difficulty we've rated 5 of 10. But we definitely needed there was a lot of communication, definitely tough raid lead in. I'm sure Saf can attest. Like there's a lot going on with the fight. The coolest ability we felt was the teleport mechanic and how like, you're constantly porting across the map to run from ghosts, but the main mechanic we're talking about is where he sucks you in and then you gotta like let go at the last minute and teleport out. Like I
yeah,
couldn't even get my brain around that as a demon hunter. I would just wait and I would max out my dashes. Like I would wait till right before I get sucked in, then dash, and then I could just get dash off again right before I get sucked in. I would almost not blow up. Like every once in a while, I'd have to pop my invulnerability because I would definitely get blown up. But it
yeah,
was just crazy.
yeah. That's one of my favorites, man. That fight was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, there was lots of cool ways to cheese mechanics. But there was a lot going on. Shout out to Stiffer with his 4 traps in one fight as a tank.
Dude, he's got the record right now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
We've had one farm week where he didn't get trapped, and I just happened to bet 20K gold he would get it trapped at least once that week. Of course, I lost it. uh,
Improvements? Any improvements that you thought of?
maybe like add a little ad that keeps spawning for a cleave mechanic, or I was thinking maybe because I felt like you never really had a bunch of time to dodge the boss because there were so many mechanics. And then like we lusted in phase 3, and I always felt it was such a waste because you get like 10 seconds, and then 10 seconds you're sucked in. I didn't know if like maybe you could maybe shorten the cooldown on that or add like a DPS boost or something. Like maybe during phase 3 when he's sucking you in, he takes increased damage, like something like that. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if everybody if you less than phase 3, or if they less than phase 2, just get rid of the seeds quick, so you get a full lust pretty much.
Let
I
us
don't know,
know
leave
in the
down.
comments how's your guild
Yes,
do it.
please. Yeah, we'd like to know.
All right,
All
buddy. And
right,
next up, we did Sun King. You want to take us away?
Sun King. Oh my gosh. All right, so wonderful Kel'Thas is back, the Sun King. Difficulty we rated 6 of 10. Mainly because this is really hard on our healers when we first started out. Because I mean, if you think about it, I mean, most of us were gear doesn't drop like it used to, and everybody's very aware of that. So if they weren't, we have some casuals. I'll admit it. And we have some people who are really hardcore. So I think the people who are kind of hardcore definitely like compensated for
Carry,
people who
yeah.
were a little more casual. But high amounts of comp and coordination was needed for this fight. Anything from us making sure the ads were taken care of in a certain order, to the healers really kind of coordinating their cooldowns and stuff just to get Sun King up real quick. So I mean, now we got it kind of down to a science, and he's down before even the first Golem is dead. But I mean, when we first did it, it was pretty rough. So
So ranking difficulty, we got 6 of 10.
yeah, 6 of 10. Coolest ability, they say the change up for healers, and it's crazy AoE nonstop DPS. It is like nonstop DPS. There's never really a dull time, a downtime.
Yeah, it's
And the
like go, go,
healers,
go.
yeah, it was a big healing fight. So I mean, it was kind of nice for them to like really feel super important instead of just the normal heal the raid. They actually had something else they had to heal, and it was kind of but likability. mm, I mean, I didn't care for it. A lot of our healers didn't care for it because I guess it was hard, but it was like 3 of 10 for us.
Yeah, we rated it 3 of 10.
Yeah, the only improvements I think there definitely need more infusers. I think like the infusers there was like maybe we saw like 2 sets and they were like 4 tops. So to reduce the healing done, I don't know,
What could be
maybe.
possible, do you think? Do you think they should have made it like a longer fight, maybe? And like spam those
mm,
ads, or you think
I
it
feel
was?
like when we first did it, it took forever, but
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
was hard when we first did it, but our DPS was
Pretty tough.
lacking too. So
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's like a good combination of single target and AoE. So you kind of have to build AoE, but kind of like in my talents, I definitely build like kind of like a hybrid. So you get a good dose of AoE, but you have some good single target as well. So,
nice.
all right. And then next up, we have Lady Darkbane.
Dark Vein. Difficulty, we rated Lady Dark Vein 7 of 10. We felt she
Mm,
was very tough. Like the DPS race was pretty tough, and there was lots of mechanics. Um,
Chris.
I did feel there was a nice balance of mechanics in DPS. Like there was plenty of time to burn. There was a little bit of cleave, but then there was like, okay, well, now you're gonna run over there and figure out how to get this crazy beam around these 3 little circles. And if you cross beams, you die. If you touch the circles, you die. If people
Right.
run between your beams, you die. Like it was pretty cool. For likability, we rated this our 7th of 10. We felt it was one of the most fun fights. And for improvements, we were talking about how the beams can be less buggy. Like instead of like
Sure.
putting one beam through it, or like if you touch the beam, you freaking melt. Like
Yeah. I mean, I
uh,
don't have any issue with you. Like he's talking about like the orbs. When the orbs are there, if you're standing on an orb, you die, which is fine. But there was a lot of confusion at first. Like, do you have to like be on the orb, or I mean, we figured it out obviously, but it's just kind of glitchy. Like if you put one side in and the other person's in and the other person's in, if it's not lined up perfect, like it's a lot of people like jiggling back and forth trying to figure it out. So it's just I think if the lines through it, it should go away. That's just me. So sometimes it works out, it's perfect, but a lot of times there's a couple times where it's like, oh my god, dude, I'm running through this thing, like go away already. So
and next up, arguably the second most in lots of words fight. We got Blood Council, buddy. Take it away.
Blood Council difficulty 9 of 10. This fight is not easy. I don't know how everybody else does it, but our order is Frida, Nicholas, and then Stravos. And once we got I feel like we didn't have much difficulty with the first two. Like we got rid of Frida first, just so we have to deal with the interrupts. I've been in some pugs where they do the order a little bit different, so maybe it makes the fight easier. But when you do Stravos last, and we have a guild leader who is very firm on that portion.
Oh my! Don't even
But
go there.
we try
Okay,
we try to do Nick last, and Nick last is not the way to go. I promise you that. But I have done a lot where it's been Stravos, Nicholas, and then Frida. But either way, ours is Frida, Nick, Stravos. The final dance is a huge DPS race, and it took us quite a while to get the gear to do that. It's a very difficult fight, annoyingly hard mechanics, tough DPS walls, but the coolest ability is the final dance phase. Like it is, man. And then the little dances that you have in the intermissions, it's a good fight, man. Likability, I give it an 8 out of 10, just because it is challenging, it is fun. It's not the norm. Like there's like little intermissions that you get like a little lust buff in. I think it was good.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the more thought out fights. Like it had very thought out sections and
For sure.
choices, and it was very difficult, but it was very innovative too. It was one of the few fights I'll probably remember next expansion. Like if someone says
Absolutely.
Castle Nathria, like that's one of the fights I'm gonna think of. So,
Right. And it was one of those fights where you actually had choice. Like you could pick the route you wanted to go. Like it
yeah,
wasn't set in stone, like you have to kill Frida first or anything like that. You got to choose which one you killed first, which I think is kind of cool.
yep, I
So, but
agree.
also adds a level of difficulty to it. So, and then your favorite fight, my friend. Oh, Sludge Fist is next.
Oh my god! So this fight actually made me storm out. I slammed my mouse down and stormed out of the house because of so many people. We had one guildie who purposely snapped this chain to kill me. Okay, purposely. All right. I hate this fight. The chain mechanic is stupid. The window, the DPS window, does not line up well with Demon Hunter cooldowns. It is a terrible fight. It's terrible. I hate
As
this fight.
as range, I don't think it's that bad, but I can understand from a melee's perspective, it is very unmelee friendly. Um,
Difficulty, we gave it a 6 of 10. Like,
yeah,
I know I hate it, but I understand it's not the most difficult fight. Like, you can't just
nah.
run together. It's just 8 yards with melee people, like a monk and a demon hunter. If either one of them presses the wrong button at any time, you're just dead. Like, or if a demon hunter or a death knight just want to be a pain and just snap your chain because a healer told them to and just kill you. Like, I hate this fight.
Difficulty wise,
Likability, we gave this our 1 of 10 label because it sucked if you couldn't tell.
it's not that it's boring. It's like your most patchwork fight. You're basically deeps in the boss. He hits something and you do 100% more damage. You blow your cooldowns. It's I mean it's okay. Heroic was definitely harder than normal. Normal is like a joke for ranged, but heroic it had a little flavor, but still wasn't
And I'm
overly
more than
impressive.
ready to forget that fight. So moving on, buddy. We got Stone Generals next. Hey, why don't you take it away?
Stone Generals. We gave it a difficulty of 7 to 10. Like, it was a tough fight, man. It's a really tough healer fight, and the reason it's high up there is because the healers say it's like so difficult. There's just so much to do during that fight for them. But DPS wise, I felt like there was always something to do. You're killing an ad, you're killing the boss, you get the boss to 50%. And there's a cool like little intermission phase where you're killing another ad, and then you got, the little orbs you got to collect to give it to the prince. And I mean, I thought it was a cool fight, man. It was definitely a solid like fight. So coolest ability in my opinion was the combo breaker, where you get the crystallize, and then you have to like get you cleansed, and then everybody gets trucked with a big meteor afterwards. Like for sure, that was like the coolest ability. Likability, we all liked it. Even the healers liked it. We gave it a 9 to 10. So it was a good
Yeah,
fight.
it was a good, second to last fight. Like it deserved respect. It wasn't too
For sure.
crazy, but it wasn't a rollover. Pretty fun. It
Um,
was cool.
some improvements I think that could have been added to it. The blade, like when she throws her blade out, if the melee were just off, like I'm talking like just too close to the boss, if they weren't max melee range, our melee were getting hit with the blade. I don't know why they were on the opposite side, but if they were on the boss, like they were getting like up close, they were getting the the bleed as well. So the wicked blade is what I'm talking about. It goes out, like we do a little triangle setup, and it comes back to the boss. Once it's in phase 2, it's not a big deal. It goes back up in the air. But it's phase 1 where you're with Kyle. It seemed to be a little buggy, but we got it figured out. So
Yeah,
I
they
don't know.
definitely need to work on that.
And then last but not least, the infamous king himself, the Old Sire. Take it away,
Heroic
friend.
Sire Denathrius.
Fight ever.
Oof. Normal was a pushover. Like a total pushover. Phase 1, we wiped like 4 times, and then we one-shot it in phase 2 on our
That's true.
first night on him.
That's true.
We did not have that same experience in Heroic, however.
No. I had 2 wipes on this boss.
I had all said and done between Guild and Pugs 207 wipes when we killed this boss.
Yeah.
I have not wiped on a heroic boss that much since Warlords of Draenor on Black
Black
Hand.
hand.
I had 300 wipes on Black Hand.
Yeah, this fight was
I give them a
tough.
lot of respect. I feel as a guild, we definitely spent way too much time in phase 1. Phase 1
Mm,
is definitely like, I wouldn't even say phase 1 is the toughest phase. But we rated it a difficulty of 10 to 10. Like, it's definitely the toughest fight in the raid for
for
sure.
sure.
Toughest one we've seen in a while.
But
Certainly
also
for
also the most fun.
certainly the toughest for the first raid too. The first raids are normally a lot easier.
Yep.
Um, uh,
What do you think the coolest ability was?
Coolest ability I thought was the pizza slice, the teleporting
Yeah.
mirrors, and I thought some of the knockbacks were cool. A ton of the interlaced mechanics throughout the entire fight were like really hard, but also really fun. I felt phase 1 I hated. Like we spent like 2 or 3 nights just wiping on phase 1, like literally for 3 hour sessions, and I
Yeah.
wanted to smash my head into my keyboard like as hard as possible and destroy myself. Like I hated it. But phase 2 and 3 are so fun. Like there's so much going on and such a flow to it. I really loved it.
Yeah, very much so. Actually, it's funny you said the knockback is like one of the coolest abilities. If you watch our kill video, which is posted already, you'll actually see our tank get knocked over to like another platform, and our priest had to like yank him back. Otherwise, I don't. It was crazy how when we got the kill, but
Yeah,
fun.
it was likability. We gave it a 10 out of 10 for
Yeah,
difficulty, out of respect, and just for fun. Like it was our most like fight,
yeah,
hardest
for sure.
fight at the same time
Yeah, when we got that kill, man, like our Discord erupted. So,
though.
but
Yeah,
comments. This is. Uh,
I feel like
I think.
the
Go ahead.
mechanics are almost getting to the maximum. Like I don't know if it's just me, but like when you're like DPS this boss, run over here, get back knock here, soak these orbs, run from this explosion. Now dodge these pizza slices while soaking these orbs while like dude, I don't know if I can do many more mechanics than that.
It was a lot of mechanics, but I think that's what made it so fun. You know what I mean? Like there was always something to do. So definitely a guild killer, man. I mean, it could tear apart your guild for sure. But if you keep it light, you know what I mean, explain it to people, tell them not to get frustrated, and give kudos on like the little improvements. That's the biggest thing with this fight. Just keep at it, and then it's some of it's a lot of luck. Like your worst players won't get those mechanics that are gonna like wipe
Yep.
your raid. You know what I mean? So stick with it. We've only killed it once. We don't have it on farm by any means. And from what I understand, there's some people that are like 6 of 10 mythic, and they're still like they still struggle with heroic sire. So give it the respect as due, and just keep at it. And if your guild doesn't have it, you will get it. I don't think it was from my perspective, I don't think it was overly hard. There was a lot of mechanics and a lot of personal responsibility, which is what makes a lot of fights hard. So, as arranged, I wasn't like all up on the boss where all the orbs were splashing after every ad
Oh
died.
man, dude.
That would be rough, but um,
There's
I
like
loved
whole
it.
chunks of time where I'm just running and dodging colors. Like Okay, I'm playing color matching. There's a slice. Run from that. There's a slice. There's three slices. There's two circles. I'm 30 feet away from the boss. Like, I can't. I mean, you want to
Yeah,
live or pretend into deeps? Because Dead Deeps does no
right.
TPS. So,
That's true. But that's our take on Castle Nathria. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please let us know. We'll make one of the whatever the next raid will be. Um, Stay tuned next week. We're possibly going to bring out my new class. I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
I can't wait. We're really
So,
trying to develop it, trying to really step up our
yeah.
game here at Gaming Dad. So, please give us a huge like. Real quick, overall, would you say this is one of the better raids, the worst, or you think it'll just fall in the middle? Like,
Mm,
because we've played this, we've literally raided together since Molten Core. Okay, like we haven't raided every tier, but whatever. We've been playing this game together, raiding since vanilla. So like, are you gonna remember this, or is this just gonna fade away, or is it like
you know what? I didn't like some of them. You go in and the raid is gorgeous, right? To me, the colors were very bland. Like it was very big, and I felt like a lot of spots
red?
you were, yeah, a lot of spots you were running around. There was no ads. For a first raid, boss wise, I think it was very good for the first raid of a tier. But I think it'll be forgettable just because it's too dark, too red, too like even the mechanics are red, and then I mean, I don't know. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
All right, so we're gonna forget about it. Good deal. I'll remember Heroic Sire anyway, and I'll remember
Heroic
that damn
Sire.
Snane chap and Silver. All right, guys, it's been fun. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Gaming Dads out.